Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today we are looking at the Cartier Ballon Bleu 42mm in a combination of polished stainless steel and 18-karat rose gold. If this isn't the warmest offering in the Ballon Bleu continuity, it's definitely the most appetizing, because with its chocolate guilloche dial, this one will bring a smile to your face even as your mouth waters. Now, the Ballon Bleu is something of a modern powerhouse for Cartier. Introduced in 2006, it's become Cartier's best-selling global product, and you can see why. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, very comfortable, and it has that characteristic of great design in that it seems completely natural, almost inevitable. You take one look at it and you say, of course that's a Cartier. It looks like something that Louis Cartier could have designed in his lifetime, along with the Santos, along with the Pasha, along with the Tank. It has that classic character to it, but with modern proportions and quality and detailing. You can also see that it is a true dress reference, versatile with the combination of light and dark hues, steel and rose gold metal. It's also incredibly flush to the skin. Although 42mm in diameter and 13mm thick, it sits incredibly low because of the shape of the case. Now you can see that the case back of the Ballon Bleu is just as bulbous as the crystal itself, so it nestles very comfortably into the wrist and actually loses about 3mm of height just by buckling the clasp. Sits in, really becomes snug, secure, and comfortable on the wrist, but it also sports incredible tumble home. You can see from side to side just how much slope there is to the flank of that case, and how dramatically sloped the sapphire is, becoming part of the lines of the bulbous Ballon Bleu case. And it allows any sleeve, no matter how tight, how tough, how formal, to ride up and over this watch with ease. So whether you prefer to emphasize the steel aspects and wear it short sleeve, or focus perhaps more on the rose and the chocolate elements and make it a formal reference, this versatile Cartier can match your attire for any day, any purpose, any activity. Long sleeves or short, you're good to go. Now, the other nice thing about this watch, the case is an ergonomic triumph, but so is the bracelet. Beautifully built, this one incorporates finely finished steel and rose gold, and it's just as clever underneath, because the broad gaps between the links themselves allow this bracelet to flex easily without pinching skin or pulling hair. It's everything you'd expect from a Cartier, aesthetically but also ergonomically, and that continues in the stainless steel clasp. Double deployant with twin triggers, it's very secure. It has that quality of the best clasps, whether on formal or dive references, of closing with a satisfying click and closing securely. The nice thing about this watch is it has an incredibly low profile when the clasp is closed. The continuity of the bracelet is completely unobstructed, completely unmarred by the parting point of the clasp. You can barely see where the partition is, so it reads as a bracelet, not as distinct pieces separated by a large mechanical device. But when you open it, twin trigger release, very secure, very solid in the hand, a satisfying piece. You can see the pincer movement of the trigger release for security. It's a beautifully machined piece, so Cartier's assembly is up to the standard of its finish in this case. Now, another nice feature of the Ballon Bleu is that it has perhaps the most distinctive crown and crown guard of any watch that doesn't bear a Panerai logo. The Ballon Bleu, of course, named after the incredible large blue balloon, or the sapphire cabochon. I'll see if I can show it to good advantage here. The sapphire cabochon atop the rose gold crown in this case lends the watch its name, and you can see its form recapitulated, echoed in the crown guard itself, echoed in the curvature of the crystal, in the rounded case back, in the flanks of the case. It's a very fully realized, consistent, internally consistent design. And perhaps that's why the Ballon Bleu seems like such an inevitable watch, a self-evident design that feels so natural, so endemic to Cartier, like something that's been around forever, even though, again, it's only been around for less than a decade. Nevertheless, it's been called an icon, and for a watch less than 10 years old, to begin to establish that iconic status speaks to the quality of the design and the regard that collectors and enthusiasts have for it. Moving inboard from that blue sapphire topped rose gold crown, you can see that the watch features its signature piece, well, at least this model's signature piece, the chocolate guilloche dial. Now, it's far from brown. Here's the thing, the iPhone doesn't do justice here, but I would have to say that the tone of the dial is somewhere between cocoa and bronze. It definitely has some golden undertones, and that's helped along by the presence of the 18-karat rose gold hands. Broadsword hands for the minutes and the hours, lancet for the seconds hand. It also features a gorgeous set of almost bronze stylized Roman numerals that tie the watch to the Cartier horology tradition, the tradition of the Cartier dress and sports watches of the 20th century. And you can see signature elements like the hidden Cartier logo in the V of the Roman numeral 7 right here at 7 o'clock. So there's a lot going on, and that's compounded by the presence of a gorgeous rose lathe cut to the center dial. Inboard of the minutes track, there is a gorgeous guilloche. I'm going to try to capture that in the light, but it splays outward from the junction of the hands, and it adds real texture. It adds visual interest, complexity, and intrigue to the design of a dial that's already warm, attractive, becoming, and unique. This watch, being a Ballon Bleu, is already a little bit special. Being a Cartier, it's well on its way. But when you combine this chocolate guilloche dial with the two-tone of the steel and the rose gold, you've really got something unique. Now, in terms of practicality, the watch does have a jump date here at 3 o'clock, and it's an automatic winder. It has a thin and fine automatic movement with a 42-hour power reserve. So essentially, if you want a watch that's versatile and set it and forget it convenient, but you still want the romance of a mechanical heartbeat in your watch, this Cartier Ballon Bleu 42mm in two-tone is an excellent option, because whether you're looking for a watch that's a little bit sporty, a watch that can pull double duty in formal attire, and believe me, just about any Cartier can, but this one doesn't just accomplish both goals, it excels at each. And this watch is a standout. It's something of a unique piece even in the Cartier catalog, even amongst the Ballon Bleu line, because the color combination is so individualist, so unusual, but at the same time, so charming. This watch has immense character, versatile, classic, modern, and part of the contemporary legend that is the Cartier Ballon Bleu. This is your one watch to do it all, provided you're not an extreme diver, you're not going mountain climbing, and you don't need something to run and take your pulse. The bottom line is that this Cartier Ballon Bleu 42mm in stainless steel and 18-karat rose gold just may be the watch you want.